Okay, now let's talk about something called World Wide Web, also known as WWW. World Wide Web is an interconnected system of public web pages accessible through the internet. Okay, so this is the internet which we are using, right? So what is the difference? What is the difference between internet and World Wide Web? The difference is that okay, firstly, let's go into some of the details, historical things of the World Wide Web. So, World Wide Web, as I told you, it is also known as simply the web. That's it. On W3 also, we can say. Uh, Earlier, I mentioned that Tim Berners-Lee in 1991, he proposed the first time about this hypertext and hyperlinks and all those things, right? That eventually became the full-fledged World Wide Web. So it was proposed by Tim Berners-Lee. Then he helped create a organization W3C, World Wide Web Consortium, which is an organization to standardize the development of the web. Why it is important? Because web is not owned by a company, right? All people, whether you are Chrome or your Safari or any like every Firefox, you're embedding a Chrome in a inside a Android app, whatever, like the different parties have to be on a consensus that how the development of web. So this is an organization which takes care of the proper growth and development of the web. Now, the core components of the web are these things, right? Most of the things I have earlier mentioned. This HTTP, right? HTTP in detail we will be discussing in the next module. But here, just we'll understand that it is sort of a protocol. It is a language for communication for transferring to and fro the web documents, right? That is that is essentially what HTTP is. URL we saw that uniquely identify or locate a particular resource, right? That is URL. In fact, it is also called uniform resource locator for that reason also. It is locating uniquely a particular resource in the internet, in the web to be precise. Now, in the internet also is true because the URLs, as we will see later, that it is not specific to World Wide Web. It can be outside World Wide Web also. It's just in a bit we'll see. Now, HTML is hypertext markup language. Okay, so hypertext we understood. Markup language, like it is used for structuring the document, and that's why it is called markup language. That is HTML. We will properly learn it in later modules. Hyperlink or simply link, we understood what is that, right? Now that is the question which I was talking about, that there's internet and then there is web, World Wide Web, right? Simply called web. What is the difference between internet and web? Mostly for 95% of the cases, whatever general people are using, they're using web, and we think that that is same as internet. But the thing is that internet can do a lot of things other than what we generally do on the internet. This thing which what we generally do, and this thing is called the web. Transferring of web documents, web pages, the pages of websites, right, through HTTP and HTTPS. This is what web does. But the internet is actually the backbone of this. Internet can do a lot of things. This is one of them. Some other things can be, let's say, transferring emails, transferring files. You understand, right? You can transfer simply files, download files on HTTP also, right? But there are specific protocols for file transfer specifically, right? They are like highly optimized and more efficient. If the, let's say, file size is very big, let's say 1 GB file, then this thing will take a lot of time. These are optimized approaches. Point is that there are different, and these things also have their particular concept of URLs, and the scheme will not be a scheme or protocol. That will not be HTTP now, that will be FTP or SFTP, which is a secure version of FTP. The point is internet, and so on and so forth. Internet can do a lot of things. This thing, what we are doing, transferring of web documents, that part of the whole thing which internet can do is called the web. So essentially, web is not the same as the internet. Web is just one of the applications built on top of the internet. Internet acts as the backbone of the whole web, right? But it is not the web. Understood? Okay, so this module is done. Now I'll just throw away a few questions so that you can try to explore the answers of these questions whenever you are having some free time. See, the first question is there a difference between internet and cloud? You see, internet, obviously we hear a lot. Cloud also, like cloud computing, cloud this, cloud that, right? Internet, like, okay, what is cloud, what is internet? Is there a difference between cloud and internet? Okay, is that the same? If it is same, that's fine. If it is different, what is the difference, right? That I want you to explore. The second question is, I told you that HTTP and HTTPS, these are like mostly URLs start with this, but is it necessary that all URLs must start with HTTP and HTTPS? Is that true or not? That you have to explore. Now I'll just explain that. In passing I said that it might not be the case, but you have to explore two things. First thing is that if I am using a different protocol, then how my URL should look like. That is the first thing you should see. Explore if there is option of creating such URLs, right? Or whether it can be done or not. That is the first option. The second option is that, okay, I want HTTP, but still it should not start with HTTP. Is it possible? Okay, might not, might not be. So please explore on that. Okay, the final question is a simple, like sort of a hacky question, but let's say if you can figure it out. You might need a bit of googling over here, but the point is that, you see, this example.com is a domain name. We already discussed what is domain name, what is subdomain, right? This app is a subdomain of this example.com, right? So we'll see that every subdomain will be like separated by dot, right? In fact, the base name is also, this thing is called tld.com, right? Now that thing is also separated by a dot, right? The point is that this thing has one dot, this thing has two dots. Can you somehow figure out that what can be the maximum number of dots or periods, whatever you say, what can be the maximum number of dots in a domain name? And can you calculate it? Right? So you can say that, okay, if it is .com, what can be the maximum number of dots? If it is, let's say, .in, what can be the maximum number of dots? Can you figure out a way of calculating that? Just a random thing, if you can. Okay, let's finish it here. This module is almost over. We will see that in the next module. What we are going to do is that whatever things which we have just touched in the surface, right, we are trying to go into deep of such things, like for example IP, domain names, and there is something called DNS. We'll take a deep dive into those things in the later module. But for now, this completes this module. That's all. Thank you.